Looks like
Is it
we are
live?
live. We are live on all
I-
the medias, on all the socials, on the Zooms,
All the all
on
the
everything.
on all the World Wide Web. We
Yes.
are yeah, Al Gore's invention. We are live on it. So hey everybody, it's Robin Robbins. You probably knew that because like you found me through Facebook or I emailed you, so you know who I am. Got a big announcement today. We're going to be talking to you about. I've got Mike Stadola, who's with me, who is my Chief Marketing Officer, and Mr. Jeff Johnson, who is our Chief Revenue Officer. And very official. We're very official around here. I guess that makes me CEO. Like my kids. No, that's not where it is. It's boss lady. That my kids bought me that, so I'm the boss lady. So anyway, yeah, we got some exciting news we're going to be talking to you about today. Got some great things coming for our members. And I know there's a bunch of people watching. So I don't know if you're watching this on Zoom. You might be watching this. We're streaming on Facebook. We're streaming on YouTube. So I don't know kind of where you're watching this. And some of you may be, most of you, I'm sure, are clients. Some of you might not be clients. Just kind of wanted to give everybody the news about something that we're doing this fall that is going to be of value to anybody who's running a managed services business that actually wants not only to grow, but wants to get more clients and better quality clients at the same time. So should I just get down into it, guys? I know they usually tell me to kind of stall for a few seconds because everybody's joining, but is that okay? Can
Lonnie was on here asking if this was one of those drinking meetings. Said could use one right now.
Go for it, babe. You know what? I'll have a drink with you. This could be vodka. Ooh. You'll never know. Okay. Sure. Drink away. Although last night I did make a wild cherry martini that was the bomb. So like, if you guys like, I'm always inventing new martinis. I was down the beach. I know how to make a really kick-ass. It's called a Midnight Sun, and it's like elderflower and blood orange vodka. So good, so good. So we'll just, that's not the announcement though. That's not what we're here to talk about. Sober up, you drunks. Okay, so anyway, the big exciting news is we have officially opened up registration for an event that we are hosting in the fall. It's our Fall Road Show. If you've been a client for a while, I'm sure you've either heard about it, you've been to one. And it's an event where we go out into the trenches. We go to different cities across the United States, and we deliver a deep dive session on a particular topic. So in previous years, we've done cybersecurity. We've done that more than once, like how do you make money, packaging, pricing, selling managed services. We've done things like digital marketing. We've done things like, recession survival. I mean, when the recession was there was downturn and recession, we've done how to implement a marketing plan. Now, this year is going to be unique in a lot of different ways, because this year the roadshow is going to be focused, this 2-day event that we're going to be hosting in 3 cities. We're only doing 3. That is all going to all be about building your sales function. Now, I know everybody's ears just flopped over because it's not technical, right? So I'm not going to be teaching you what the best technical tools to use and how to, what your solution stack should look like. And we're not going to be talking about Will Noble's package anymore. Okay, so enough of that stuff, right? I know some of you are very excited about Will Noble's package and his, every year he comes out with his new cybersecurity compliance package, but that we'll probably talk about that a little bit, right? But really, this is about building your sales function. Now, the URL to go to get all the details on this, and I'll walk you through it, is mspsalesroadshow.com. And maybe one of my neighbors here, Jeff or Mike, there you go. You can post up there. So if you want to go there, you can check this out. Now, why the heck did I pick sales? Okay, because here's the reality. Roughly about 95% of MSP business owners, most of you, have zero sales background. You've never been in sales. You've never carried a quota. You've never studied sales. You're good at the tech. And so you start an IT business and you start putting together your services and you start helping customers and doing whatever it is, however you can, you start selling what you got. Okay. But there's a problem with that because, the biggest complaint we hear from MSPs all the time is, hey, I want more prospects who will not fight me over price, who will not tell me they don't need all that, or, nothing's going to happen to me. I don't need to spend all that money, or beat you down on price and not value IT. So we hear that all the time. And it's not that the marketplace is stubborn, won't spend money, although there is some truth to that. But it's more because you lack the knowledge, the structure, the expertise in how to sell something. And most of you, when you think of sales, you think of these slimy used car salesmen where you got to learn all these clever comebacks and, NLP techniques where you do a Jedi mind trick on somebody, get them to give you money. It's like, that's not it at all. That's part of the problem, is that's what you think selling is. That's not it. Really good salespeople who know how to sell effectively understand that selling is kind of in a form, it's consulting and coaching. Like you're literally trying to help this person. They got a problem, and you're helping them diagnose where's the core of the problem. Because a lot of times people have the symptom of the problem, but they don't really know what the problem is. It's diagnosing the problem. It's putting together, helping them clarify what good is, because a lot of them don't even know what good is. And then presenting them with a solution of, here's where you are, here's where you need to be, and here's how we're going to get you there, and here's how we should be the company that you trust in order to get this done. So, the reason I decided to do this sales training is because for 20 years now, we've been helping MSPs generate leads through better marketing. But a lot of what happens is that lead comes in, and because you don't understand sales, how to qualify a lead, how to process an inbound lead, how to set expectations so that they want to meet with you. And when they meet with you, they're ready to buy, all those things. Because you don't know how to do that, you're doing marketing and you're generating leads, but it's all falling apart like a cheap suit once that phone rings, once that lead comes in. So selling is the part that marketing leads to. Marketing is going to set you up so that you can have these conversations with prospects and with even clients, because existing clients need to be sold, guys. You know this, right? I mean, I'm here selling you guys right now, because I can't just say, hey, the roadshow, go sign up, and every client signs up. Even though you've already paid for the tickets, if you're an existing member, because we include it in your membership, right? Because that's part of what you're paying for. I still got to convince you. I still got to sell you on getting your butt from your office and coming out and hanging out with us, right? So, everything in life is selling. It's negotiating, it's selling, it's helping somebody, it's understanding somebody else's situation, it's helping them to understand what good is. It's dealing with all the emotional baggage and head trash stuff that they've got about what you sell, and really giving them a path forward. So that's why I decided to do this about sales, because when you really get down to it, my DNA is a salesperson. I'm a salesperson at heart. That's where I started. And I learned how to do marketing to make myself a more effective salesperson. But I had the advantage in marketing of knowing what it's like to go toes to toes with a prospective customer who is not wanting to part with their money, who may not be completely convinced that they need what you're selling, who might be shopping you against other competitors, all the things. So I know what that's like. And so having that experience in sales has helped me to make marketing better, because sales and marketing are one continuum, right? So basically, marketing is the beginning of the sales process, and selling is the end of the marketing process. So if you have good marketing and you're generating leads, but you don't have a good sales function in your business, all the water flows out of the bucket, so to speak, right? And if you only have a sales process, but you don't have marketing to fuel that sales process, now you're going to have a bunch of tired, cranky salespeople, because they're spending their entire day looking for opportunities. Because salespeople without marketing is really crappy marketing, because they got to sit there and call and dial and cold call. And salespeople don't get burned out from selling; they get burned out from prospecting. And the prospecting, is what the marketing function should do. So you got to have both sides. So this is going to be really important to you, especially if you have not ever been in sales, you don't understand it, you don't know who to hire, how to build that team, where to start, all the things. So that's what this show is going to be about. Mike or Jeff, do you want to add anything? Because I want to share my screen and walk through the event. Is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, as we walk through, we can definitely go through some of that, because you've got all the sales stuff. We've got a number of special speakers. So yeah, and we're going over a lot of content like we've literally never done before. So,
Yeah.
because there's things that change so quickly. So we'll get there though.
Okay.
Well, a lot of it also, when you look at this, is that it's selling of the sales process. It's also, how do you line up those leads? How do you make sure that you optimize? And you're going to see as part of it, of what we've got on the agenda is not just that sales process once you have the lead, but how do you make sure that you're getting the right leads so that you're closing deals at a high rate, and you're not doing like a 5% close rate and you're wasting your time on 19 out of 20 people that you're talking to,
Yeah.
which is more common than you would think within the MSP space.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, guys, I get questions all the time. MSP comes to me and they're like, man, I got a big fish on the line. I got this prospect. I really want them as a customer. And I met with them and things went well. And I sent them my proposal and now they're not responding. They've gone dark. What do I do? What do I do? And what I say is like, well, what you do is you get in a time capsule and you go back in time and you do the sales process right. So you're not in this situation, right? So because that's what I'm saying. You don't want to do this. Anything that's important in your business, and selling, meaning negotiating with a new prospective customer, understanding their needs, pairing them up with a solution, helping them see the value of what you do. That is on you. People don't show up already understanding the value of what you do. They don't even understand what you do, period, let alone what the value is. They don't know how difficult it is to do what you guys do. They don't understand the work that you put into this. They don't understand the cost of doing this correctly. So when they come to you, they're grossly ignorant about what you do, and they might be looking for the cheapest price, even though they kind of know they shouldn't be looking for the cheapest price. So these, the majority of prospects out there are not perfect. And so it's really up to you as the salesperson, whether you like to call yourself a salesperson or not, as the consultant, if you like that word better. The consultant is, you've got to know how to have a conversation and an engagement with them that helps them, that educates them, but not just educates them, that influences them. Because just because somebody's educated doesn't mean they're influenced. So you have to do it in a proper manner, and you have to do it in a way that positions you as a trusted advisor and not a salesperson. That's another big mistake. Or positions you as the Maytag repair guy who's coming out there and talking about all the tech and confusing the hell out of your prospects so that they back away from you emotionally, if not physically, because they're going, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm so confused. And so like a saying I have is, a confused prospect never buys, because they don't know what to do. So you've got to learn how to do this in a way. You don't have to be the best salesperson in the world, but you got to have a process to this. You got to have a structure to it. And the other thing is, you want to make sure you know how to build that sales team, who to hire first, who to hire next. When do you hire these people? How do you interview them? How do you find them? All those things. Because if you're going to grow, I don't think you guys want to be the only salesperson in your organization. It would be great if someday you hire salespeople and they do a great job and they meet with prospects and they do the work of negotiating and closing and onboarding and getting referrals, so that you are, you're always going to be involved with sales, but it's not just weighing entirely on your shoulders. So as you can see, this 2-day event, it's an in-person event, is really about how to sell more of the high dollar IT services, managed services contracts, without getting into fee resistance, without having to discount, without having to make concessions, without having a push-pull fight with the prospect, hard negotiation, without doing manipulative stuff, because people are onto that. They know when you're manipulating them. So that I'm not for that. And you certainly shouldn't have to close hard, because if you have to close hard, you messed up everything prior to that. So closing should be very natural and normal. It shouldn't be some weird high anxiety, trick one-liner kind of thing that you're pulling off. It should be a very natural conclusion to everything that you've done. And that's why I'm saying you got to have and understand this process. So we're doing 3 cities. We're doing Chicago, Newark, and Las Vegas. Now, if you are an existing member, Toolkit membership, MSP Launch, Accelerators Producers Club, part of your membership that you paid for includes 2 tickets to this event. So you can see if you're an active member, you can claim your tickets with the button that's up there. If you are not a member. We'd love to have you as a member. Maybe you're a client, maybe you bought the toolkit a couple of years ago and you drifted away, and we'd love to have you back. Of course, maybe you want to get back in the game. Maybe life handed you some lemons and you just weren't able to make lemonade, so you've faded off a bit, you're ready to get back at it. You can click the non-member register for Chicago, and we've got a special deal. My team has told me, use this code, and Jeff and Mike, if you guys could put this TMT special. You put that promo code in and you can get in for $97. So that's going to save you $400. And so you can buy 1 ticket, 2 tickets, whatever you need. So those are the 3 locations. We typically do 5 locations. Last year, we actually did 6, about killed me. So we're not doing it anymore. So I told Jeff, I said, we're doing 3 and that's it, because we do so many events. I mean, I got an event going on right now. I was just speaking at this morning. I got an event next week. So we do a lot of events. So I've kind of peeled back a little bit, and we've picked one East Coast, West Coast, middle, so that everybody can have a relatively easy flight to that. Now,
Hey, Robin, let me just
Yes.
add to that also, is that for each of these, we've got between 250 and 300 person capacity. So if you've been to Roadshow before, typically they're about 150 people each city. And so we've expanded capacity in each of these 3 cities. Las Vegas, we've actually got the most capacity for, because that tends to be one of the more popular ones there. And so we've got these of where expanded capacity. These are going to be, if you've been to a Producers Club meeting, it's going to be larger than a Producers Club meeting, or a little bit larger. If you've been to boot camp, it's like a mini boot camp here versus what you may have seen on some of the road shows before.
Yeah. And this is a very unique event. So this is not boot camp. This is not a Producers Club meeting. This is not a rapid implementation workshop or your MSP launch workshop. This is a very unique all client event that is going to be focused entirely on giving you a blueprint for your sales process. So this is very, very unique, brand new content, brand new everything. I promise you guys, I don't care if you've been with me for 20 years, there's going to be new things I'm going to be sharing with you at this event that you either haven't heard before, or maybe I said it and it didn't click or something, but I promise you this is all going to be brand new. And where you really want to attend is if you struggle to get new clients and you struggle to get people to see the value of what you do, and you're getting into like sort of that push pull with people getting mad about your fees or thinking you're priced too high. If you really don't want to do slimy sales tactics, which I don't agree with either. If you want a process for meeting with new prospective clients that really positions you, believe me, guys, there's things that you're doing right now that are labeling you as a salesperson. You are inviting objections about price and fee resistance, and whether in their mind they're questioning, can I really trust you? They're not saying it to you. There's things that you're doing, the way you dress, the way you deliver your proposal, the way you talk about price, the questions you're asking. I guarantee you there's things you're doing that are hurting you in the sales process and you're just not aware of it. So I'm going to be talking about that. And then we're going to talk about managing, hiring salespeople so that someday you don't have to do all the selling, right? So as you can see, before this event, you are a loser who's very frustrated with a headache, as the picture shows, right? We should have probably made him like really sloppy with a pizza hanging off his chest or something, you know what I mean? Afterwards, you're sexy, you're successful, you're rich, you're witty, you're smart, it's amazing what's going to happen after 2 days. I'm not promising that, but that could happen to some of you. That could happen. Anyway, so here's what we're really going to be talking about, right? I'm going to give you a high level, a structure for how the sales process works. You got to have a framework. You got to understand structure. You got to understand process. Because there's not 100 best ways to close a sale. There's one, and there is a 5 logical step process. I'm going to show it to you so that way you understand it and it's easier to implement instead of something that's really confusing. I'm going to talk about where to start when building your sales process and team, like who to hire first, when to hire those people, what should they be doing. We're going to be talking about that, how to position yourself as a trusted advisor. So really selling becomes easier, and methods to get past the gatekeeper and get invited in. So again, this is really going to be focused on the sales process, not the marketing, because we've already covered marketing, but this is after that lead comes in. Now, another person that's going to be there is Satima Fowler. Satima is a very long-term client of mine. She came to me when her and her husband, Mike, were flat broke. She was still maintaining a full-time job to pay the bills because the MSP they were trying to get off the ground was failing, not making enough money. She comes in, becomes a member, rises herself from being an engineer, swearing, like I remind her all this time. She came into my office. She said, Robin, you understand, I'm a tech, I'm an engineer. I'm not good at the selling thing. And I told her it's a skill. You can do it. She applied herself and got to not only where she grew her business to 6 million in top line, 1 million bottom line, and became the lead salesperson for her company, then rolled into a larger MSP with some other members. They got it up to, I think it was 40 million, sold it. Now that's in part of Integris, which I believe is $120 million a year MSP or somewhere in that range, over 100 million in sales. And she was head of sales. So she was the person out there negotiating managed services contracts. And she did this session recently at boot camp. And I know not everybody was in there, but the room was so packed, we could not get any, we had to turn people away. That's how popular this session was. And she's going to be talking about quoting and proposal disasters that not only cause you to lose money, but leave prospects and even clients upset. So that's a session Satima is going to be delivering at the roadshow. Extremely valuable. We're going to get my current spokesperson, Adam Spencer, who is the CEO of 911 IT, talking about how he builds a list of high probability prospects. And by far, this is the thing, Adam knows how to do this. And if you're going to have salespeople, you got to have prospects to call on, right? So if you want to know how to do this, this is what Adam's going to show you, because he used this process last year, added 37 new managed services clients and 78,000 in new MRR in 12 months. And it was basically Adam doing the selling, but he made his marketing and his prospecting efforts a lot more effective because of his process for a clean list, which got his close rate up to 67%. That's insane. The average in the industry is about 25%. He got his close rate up to 67%. And so he's going to be giving you all the tools, the templates, the exact formulas for list building. Of course, Mike, who's all on here with me. Mike, why don't you talk about what you're going to go over at Roadshow? Because it feels weird for me to explain it when you're standing right there. So.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. So my favorite session here on the second day at the end is the one where we're going to show you the things you've really got to be doing now on digital marketing. I mean, it's like, just like it's not been an option for decades to like not have a website. With that, we find a lot of people aren't even doing the minimum things they need to be doing on digital marketing, so they're not losing out on leads, referrals, and prospective clients. And that's like phase one of that. Phase two is what everyone really needs to do next to make sure people are going to their website, are coming back, following up for literally pennies a day. Like, there's such inexpensive, great tools out there where you can get leads coming back again and again, almost on autopilot. Set it up once, super low cost. And then we're going to actually show people, the more aggressive people, the ones in growth mode, the ones who really want to boost up their numbers, how to grow, how to scale, and show them those strategies with that. So it's really, we're calling it the Essential MSP Digital Marketing Plan. And we're going to meet you where you're at. If you're brand new to digital marketing, or if you want to take it really to the next level and add dozens of clients using that, we're going to show you all the options.
Yeah, because again, guys, when we're talking about sales, here's what's going to happen if you're doing any kind of activity for prospecting or lead generation. People are going to search for you and they're going to check out your website, and they're not going to just check out your website. They're going to just do a search. And if your social media sites look abandoned, if you look like a boneyard out there, if you don't even come up in the searches, there's no reviews about you. You don't have Google. Your Google business listing is a mess. Your LinkedIn profile has no picture, or the picture of you on your wedding day 50 years ago, where, you can still see the boutonniere with your wife cut out. Like, these are not good things that will help you in the sales process. So what Mike's, again, he's going to go over, here's the most basic things you need to be doing just online to make sure you have a good digital marketing presence, so you don't look like that that boneyard that's been abandoned and nobody's home, and people go, well, hey, hang on a second, you're a tech company. Aren't you a tech company? Shouldn't you know this digital stuff? And I get it. What you do is not the same, but that's not how people see it. They think you're a tech company and therefore you should be a wizard at like your website and your social media. I mean, again, I know the difference, you know the difference, but your audience doesn't know that difference. So Mike's going to do that. We're also going to get Mr. Blue Suit Will Nobles to talk about selling compliance as a service. This again was a session he delivered at boot camp, which he's going to refresh and revise because it's always changing. Again, this was a standing room only, turning people away session. It was a breakout. We just couldn't get everybody in there. Right now, you have to understand compliance as it relates to what you're selling. Because number one, you're going to get prospects are going to ask you about it. It's happening right now. Clients might even be coming to you saying, hey, there's these new safeguard rules, or my insurance company is telling me I got to have all these things in place, security protocols in place to get coverage, or my client is coming to me saying I need to meet a certain compliance standard, or other MSPs are going to be marketing to your customers and telling them, hey, you got to be compliant. Are you compliant? You're probably not, right? So you have to know what it is and you have to start selling this. And this is part of the sales process, because many of the MSPs that are winning today, the way they're differentiating right now is being able to offer compliance solutions or compliant IT services, because your customers, the market demand is out there. So it does tie into selling. And we're going to be talking about low hanging, how to get started with compliance so you can check that box off. And if you are selling it, how to use it in the sales process to really differentiate yourself and build value. So you're not having to sell and manage services for $80 a seat. And you really can get those fees up, because the real margin is in advanced security and compliance, not the commodity. Let's make your network stay up and running. That's a commodity at this point. Where the real margin is that advanced security and compliance realm, and that's what Will is going to be talking about as well. So those are the main sessions. We got more. This is not everything. These are the main core sessions that we're going to be doing. When you register, we're going to give you the digital recording of the event. All the slide decks, all the templates, all the handouts, everything. You're going to get that digitally after you attend the event. I've got a 56-point sales checklist to turn more prospects into clients. I've got the essential digital marketing blueprint, which is, again, another checklist of here's the things you need to be doing on social media. And also the ultimate MSP sales blueprint, which is this whole playbook of how to close a managed services sale. Takes all the guesswork. Here's what you ask. Here's the things. Here's how you do an assessment. Here's how you deliver a proposal. Everything that you need is going to be covered and given to you after you attend this session. So you can read up here more about some of the testimonials and what our members have had to say. It really is a dirt cheap way to recharge your batteries. I'll go back up here to the top, but to recharge your batteries, get this involved. I mean, look, guys, I know it's the more expense is the time away from your office, but I promise you guys know I deliver. You're going to get great content. You're going to meet great people who have good ideas about how to grow. And it's definitely worth going. So, Mike, I know I have some questions that have been coming into me. I'm going to kind of open it up for questions. Jeff, Mike, is that okay? Or...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, we're in good shape here. So we have people asking who they should bring. Like, can they bring people? And then who are the best people from their team? Okay, so
yes, absolutely. If you're in a membership, you get 2 tickets. If you want additional, a third, a fourth ticket, it's $97 automatically. So it's very inexpensive. If you're not an active member, you use the TMT, what was it? TMT special, I think was TMT special. And you can get that. And so you can bring as many as you want. Now, here's who I would bring if I were in your shoes. Of course, anybody who is a salesperson on your team. So if you happen to have an account executive, account manager, even an appointment setter that you've got full-time that you want to kind of develop maybe into an outside salesperson, absolutely bring them. I would also bring anybody on your team who's involved in the negotiations or proposal creation for existing customers. So a lot of MSPs, they might not have a dedicated salesperson, but they have like a an account manager, service manager, and that person's kind of technical, but they're the one who is maybe doing the QBRs. Those kinds of people, anybody who is negotiating with an existing customer or a prospect is somebody who you want to bring with you to this event. All right. So Mike, you want to keep going, or
Yeah,
that was
no,
one of the questions I had. You want to keep
yeah,
asking me?
I think
Okay.
that answered it. We got people like you mentioned, Robin. We've got MSP launch going on right now. We got Rapid. Gotten some questions. They're like, I just went through Rapid. Is this different? They've come to boot camp. Is this the same thing? So how's this different than our other events?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, this is not those events. This topic is very unique, and it's not one that I've done an actual deep dive on, almost in 2 years now. So the content is all about the sales process, and not just the sales process, but the sales function. So I want to just be really clear, because the way you want to think about selling in your business is it's a division, it's a function in your business. So who do you hire? When do you hire them? How do you compensate them? Who do you hire first? What kind of results can you expect? Like, just building out that function is something that is going to be worthwhile in coming, just understanding the sales process as a whole. So yes, it is not boot camp. It's not Rapid. If you went to those, great. This is an entirely different piece of content that's going to be new. It's going to be relatively unique. I mean, there's going to be some recurring themes, because I'm not here inventing, basics and fundamentals, because we still have to go over those. But yes, this is going to be entirely new. And even if you've gone to MSP launch, Rapid Implementation Bootcamp, you should absolutely come to this. You won't be sitting there going, well, shoot, this was a waste of time, because I've already, heard this before at bootcamp or Rapid. This is going to be all brand new. And you would absolutely want to get to it. And I think because the other stuff we talk about mostly is the marketing, is the lead generation, right? This is the sales, like this is the rubber meeting the road. When that lead's coming in, what do you do with it? And we're going to be talking about that process specifically.
Okay, so that leads right into this next one here. They said, should they come even if they don't have other salespeople on their team?
Yeah, I mean, if you are the owner and you're doing sales, even though you wouldn't wear a salesperson's hat, maybe you don't identify as a salesperson, you say, hey, I'm an engineer, you're still having to do sales, right? And we're not going to turn you into, after 2 days, like from being completely inept at selling to a world-class salesperson in 2 days. But I will give you a good structure and process that you can follow, so that at least you're not fighting, you're not your own worst enemy. I think that's like if all I can do is teach you what not to do, that I guarantee you're doing right now, that's worth coming, because you're the owner, you still are involved in sales, you still have to go out and do the negotiation. Let's give you a process to avoid screwing things up. Now, the other reason you would want to come is we will talk about building your sales team, because at some point in your business, you're going to want to hire a salesperson if you're going to want to grow. And now, if you don't want to grow, then don't bother coming. There's no point in coming to an event if you just do not want new clients, you don't care about high margins, then I know that sounds silly, but there are some people who don't care. Then don't come to this event. But if you're saying to yourself, hey, you know what? I want to grow this thing. I'd like to start hiring some salespeople to bring me leads and appointments, to bring me new MRR, to go hunt out there so I don't have to do it. I need to hire some account managers who can manage and do the QBRs. I mean, think about it, guys. If you are doing your job correctly and you are doing QBRs with your clients, if you have just 25 managed clients, which is not like a whole lot of them, that's 100 meetings, sales meetings a year for the QBRs if you're doing the QBRs correctly. I mean, you as the owner do not have time to do that. And it needs to be done, because it's as much about customer service and paying attention to your customer as it is about sales. So you will need to hire salespeople who can do this. They are your friend. They are going to help you building a list. And, it's funny. I don't know if Fred Reck's listening or not, but it's funny. Fred Reck is a long-term member of ours. And, he's a Producers Club member, and he said something to me, I think it was at the last I think it was like the January Producers Club meeting. And he says to me, he says, I finally got a good salesperson. And he goes, and the guy is closing deals and bringing in business, and I'm not even involved. And he was like a kid at Christmas. It was like seeing fire for the first time. I'm like, yes, that's how it works, right? And it was just, I know you don't understand that, but eventually that's where you want to go. And I'm going to be talking about how do you go about building that team? Who do you hire first? And all the questions that you have. So
yeah, so we're getting some questions on like hotels and that, because we've got a lot of people who will be either driving or flying in.
Yep.
When you do sign up, there are preferred hotels that where we're holding the events, and we have special rates on those. Some people were asking for specifics because you obviously don't see those rates, but like Chicago, they start at 159, Newark's 199. Vegas is a little more because we're at the Four Seasons, that the nice one there, that's 299, but that is actually the top, what is it, Robin, the top 4 floors of the Mandalay Bay is actually the Four Seasons. So if you want to do something a little different, you can stay like one more floor down and be at the Mandalay Bay, and they have other rates there, but you'll get all the codes and everything there. I will say though, the first thing that happens every year is the hotel room blocks sell out. So if you're signing up today, go on there and get your hotel room. It's not like you're paying. It's not refundable or anything for. It's like until a couple weeks before. But go and book your hotel right away to get those rates, because those
they do
hotels,
expire.
Yeah,
and they'll sell out. Yeah. So guys, get ready to pick the area. I mean, you kind of know if you want to be in Chicago, Newark, or Vegas. So pick the one. Like Mike said, afterwards, we'll show you the hotel location, etc. And you can stay wherever you want. I don't get a dime for if you stay at the hotel. I mean, it's more for you. We negotiate the room rates more for your convenience than anything else, right? So you can sleep in your car for all I care. I mean, if that's what you want to do, but don't worry about don't worry about the hotel, you're getting into the weeds too much. And I know these are questions you have, but the opportunity of what you're going to get from this event and what you're going to learn is something that is going to impact you in a very positive way for a very long time. Because how long are you going to be running your business and be in a sales role or helping with the sales in some way? And when I say it that way, you're going to be like, well, until I die or retire, which could be 10 years, 20 years from now. Well, isn't it worth spending a couple days to learn how to do that right, so that you are not fighting against yourself and making it more difficult than it needs to be, and leaving money on the table and discounting and getting frustrated? Isn't it worth learning to do it well? I mean, this is an absolute no-brainer. And why anybody would stay home from this, it's I don't know. You must hate money. That's all I can think. You must hate money, and you love frustration, because I'm going to help take that away for you. And this is going to be worth it. Believe me, I know selling as well, or probably more than I know marketing. Because again, I'm a salesperson. I grew up in sales. I learned how to sell by just picking up the damn phone, making connections. Not that I recommend that, but I know how to do that. So I've grown up. I've sold. I've run a telemarketing team. I've sold one-to-many on a stage. I've sold on webinars. I've sold in a boardroom where there's multiple decision makers. I've sold one-to-one. I sold over the phone. I've sold in person. So I have a very deep bench of experience on selling and how selling is done and negotiations. And I'm going to bring all that to you. All right, Mike, what other questions?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm putting in, we got people asking for the links again there. So it's just mspsalesroadshow.com. Make sure that if you're a member, so that's Toolkit, the MSP Launch, Accelerators, or Producers Club, click on the little white buttons. That'll take you to the dashboard to log in, and just, you've already paid for these tickets, guys. So you just got to go and claim them and then assign them. And you don't need to assign them today, and you can change them. So if you're not entirely sure who you're going to bring, that's totally fine. You can go in and change it anytime. So don't get hung up on that. Then if you're a non-member there, it's the red button, and it's usually $4.97. But as Robin said, the promo code for being on today, it's TMT special. And I'm just doing that in chat one more time here. So just go there and get that. Let's see, Robin, other question. Okay, so we got a person who sounds like they're not a member. They don't, it doesn't look like they even own Toolkit yet. Will this still be good for them?
Oh yeah, I mean, you're going to get value from this. This is not something that is required to have the toolkit or MSP launch. Now, this will be better if you do have those things because you'll have a foundation to build on, but it's not necessary. You won't be lost. In other words, like you'll still be able to understand the value of what we're giving you here, the structure, the process, everything else. So and that this may be a really inexpensive way for you to kind of dip your toe in the water, in the TMT water, so to speak, where you can come and you can, see me on stage and hear the content and talk to other members and meet my team. And, maybe that's a good starting point for you. So absolutely, you will not be lost. You will see value. It is not necessary to have the toolkit in advance. It will help you if it does, right? Obviously, because you'll have a greater foundation to build from, but you'll definitely see value in this.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And we got some people asking, like, what's the size of this event?
Well, like Jeff said, typically we have most of the road shows, we do around 100, 150 people per event, right? Like last year we had 6 road shows, so that's kind of where it was. This year we only have 3, so we've expanded it. So we could squeeze and shoehorn about 300 in the room. Probably 200 is going to be a little more comfortable, but yeah. So, and that's it, guys. There is a hard capacity here. We are not virtual live streaming this event. We want you to come in person to this event. Virtual, I get it. COVID, we did that for years and people just don't get the value. Believe me, guys, it is a hell of a lot cheaper for me to just put a virtual option up there and have you guys do that. I don't have to supply food. I don't have to print stuff out. I don't have to get dressed up except from the waist up. Believe me, if I could do virtual and get you the same value, I would do it all day long. But I'm telling you from experience, it doesn't give you the same value as being there in person. So we're not doing virtual. You do have to register. There is a hard limit. Once we sell out, that's it. We can't fire codes. We can't have people hanging off the chandeliers. So, if you want to go, you get your tickets. Because we've got a lot of members. Just this year to date, we've added 350 members, new members so far. They're all going to want to be there. So don't delay because this event will sell out. Get it while it's hot.
Yeah, Robin, we were just talking with Jeff before he had to jump off, and he said there's actually 2,200 tickets that are already owed there for membership. So, and we got, 750 to 900 total that can fit. So this will sell out just like boot camp did. We had to shut that down about a month and a half before boot camp. People think it's a sales tactic, but that's just the reality of these places.
Yep.
So we do have people. Yeah, if you've ever been to one of Robin's events, there's food, there's drinks, there's all the good stuff. You guys have a good time. I did realize, Robin, that it doesn't look like folks on can see other things in chat when other members are saying stuff. So Mike Mullins said, anytime you can be in the room with this team is worthwhile. Oops, something just changed. Totally
I just share my screen. I hope that was all right.
There you go. You'll learn something and come out on fire. So thanks, Mike, for saying that. We've got a bunch of people saying they're already in. They've booked their hotel room. They've got their tickets. They're looking forward to it. So yeah, we've already got hundreds of people registered, guys. We've let a couple of our captains, some of the members, words kind of gotten out when we got the page up and everything. So people are already in. With that, does anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, I think, Robin, we're in pretty good shape. Yeah, do have special pricing.
Saying, can I assist with a visa application if you're coming from abroad? Sorry, my friend, I don't know anything about that. We do have, roughly about 8% of our customers are outside of the US, right? And they figure out how to get here. So I don't know how they do it. I don't know if you need a visa. I think you need a passport. I don't know about a visa. So, if I go, I've done events over in Europe, and I just have a passport and I go. So yeah, sorry, I can't help you with that. So Mike, maybe somebody.
No, I'm wondering if that's Pedro who was asking, but Pedro, you're in Boston. You don't even need a passport. You're here. So you made it, man.
Yeah, right. You're in.
Yeah. So anyways, let's see. It
I
looks
think
like on social media or on either YouTube or Facebook, it looks like Cindy is asking, will there be recordings of the event for those who attend?
Yeah, for those, absolutely. Yeah, that's part of, if let me share my screen again. So, part of the value of what you get, if you see down here, hopefully you guys can see my screen. You can see here's everything you get when you register. So obviously you get your seat at the event, but we give you a digital recording of the event plus all slide decks, handouts, templates, tools, campaigns, so that you can share it with your team or you can review it again. So yes, that is absolutely going to be shared with you, plus this checklist and the essential digital marketing blueprint. And this is reserved for TMT members, though, is the ultimate MSP sales playbook. So you got to have the toolkit membership or above, and there's an entire playbook on how to close a managed service sale that we're going to make sure you get as well. So all of this, it's comes with your registration. Yeah.
Okay, Robin, I'm not seeing any more questions that we haven't answered. Yeah. So guys, just go to the website. We'll throw it in the chat one more time, but it's just mspsalesroadshow.com for those of you listening on one of the other types of video services. And if you're not currently a member, make sure you use the promo code TMT special to get 80% off. So that will go away. So if you're going to do that, make sure you use that quickly. I don't know the exact date. I think we've got it up for about a week here on that, but I'd have to check
laughing
that.
because Matt Jones is saying, I can't wait for the penthouse tour in Vegas. So I think he's referencing when I was, boot camp in Nashville. They always give me the big penthouse suite, which is super nice, top floor, windows all around. And I was like, hey, we're doing tours. So, yeah, I think that'd be weird if I had a bunch of people touring my hotel room, but I don't know. Maybe Mike's got one. I'll let you tour Jeff. Let's
yeah, exactly.
Jeff's,
Yeah, we'll take them to Jeff's. It'll be a regular room, but I'm sure they'll be impressed with Jeff's stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure Jeff
nice.
will, whatever. The way he folds his socks or something will be fascinating.
Irons them in the morning. Yeah.
Cindy says, thank you, we're coming. That's great. Great to see you there. I think Raul saying he's in, Doug saying he's in. I'm just trying to go through the chat here. So no, I think we nailed it. Guys, again, I just would encourage you very strongly to get your tickets before these events sell out. This is going to be a phenomenal event. The things that you're going to learn is going to help you put more money in your pocket, and it's not like skills or things that last a lifetime. It's not just, you go, if you can't think of this as just another event, like a tech event where you go and you learn about new tech. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but these are things that are going to be, this is really what puts the jingle in your jeans, so to speak, right? This is the stuff that's going to help you get higher margins, better quality clients, have an easier job in the sales process. These are not things that you should be going, well, do I need this? Do I not need it? Yeah, you need it. Because if you're doing one negotiation, if you're bringing on one new client, even if you're not doing a lot of marketing, even if you're only selling to existing clients and handling referrals that come in, that's still selling. You still need to know how to handle that process in order to make it not weird and make it comfortable and make the client feel very impressed and trust you. I mean, there is a process to this. And again, I think most of you are doing things to set yourself up for failure, that we're going to remove those obstacles so you at least don't become your own worst enemy. So get after it. All right. Dan saying he's there. Mark saying he's in. Cool. I think we're good.
Perfect.
And will there be new material for cybersecurity and compliance? Yes, that's Will Nobles is doing a session on that. And it's always changing. It's always new, as you guys know, because new tools, new regulations, new applications, new case studies, new clients. We're always innovating around here because we've got thousands of members and we learn from them, and we're always innovating, always bringing you new material. So make sure you get registered. All right. Mike,
okay.
Is that it?
I think we're good. Yeah, sign off. So guys, thanks so much. We can't wait to see you in either Chicago, Newark, or Las Vegas. And it just starts in about 2 months here. So we'll see you soon, guys.
All right,
thanks,
guys.
Everyone.
Thanks, Mike. All right.